A White Stone by Jim and Mary Corbett. Chapter 12. From Our Father's Heart, the harvest is white right now, but my church is so busy doing good things that they can't see my things to do. I ask you, when did my gospel call you to any activity that did not have the eternity of the souls of men and women as its purpose? When did I ever ask you to protect your rights? Where in my word does it say that you must occupy your time doing works that have no impact on the salvation of your enemies? I am not in the midst of your projects of men. The ultimate purpose of these doctrines of men is the preservation of your freedoms, your way. I have set you free my way, so that you might share my light in the darkest places for the good of those in bondage. How pitiful and powerless your works are! You have chosen this day whom you will serve. All projects that have fleshly motives will fail. I call them wood, hay, and stubble about to be burned away. Some of you will stand empty-handed before me on that day. You think that your arms are full to present offerings to me. They are barren and of no eternal worth. Turn to me. Remember my desires. I care about the souls of those who are perishing. You care about preserving your life and call it my desire for you. It is not me to whom you are listening. Turn now to my purposes. End of From Our Father's Heart reading. I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. You say, I am rich. I have acquired wealth and do not need a thing. But you do not realize that you are wretched, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. Revelation 3:15 through 17, NIV. That's right. He's going to be there a couple of days. No, everything's going well. Look, Sally, I didn't talk to Tom himself, but to a Maria Raphael, a lady who takes care of Sunday school kids or something like that. She sounded very nice, and I'm sure Tom is fine. Yes, if I hear from Tom or anybody, I'll be sure to let you know. Sure, God bless you too. Sally, stop worrying. You know Train's heart. He would rather die himself than see Tom hurt or in any kind of trouble. Yes, okay, I will. Bye now. Pastor Wickham put down the phone. That was Sally Bracken, Tom's wife, he said to the distinguished-looking man sitting across from him in front of his leather-covered desk. She hadn't heard from Tom and... Well, you heard what I said. The man smiled condescendingly, but somewhat pleasantly, responding to the triviality of someone else's problems. Sam Thompson, a very successful restaurant franchise owner, was in no mood to hear about anyone else at this time. He was about to insist that no more embarrassing incidents, such as the one that happened the previous night, should ever take place in his church again. One more petty, controlling power play, Pastor Wickham thought, while staring at the intricate pattern of his silk designer tie. But then, he was a large contributor, so his weekly visits and constant letter-writing had to be endured. Why do I have to put up with this, Lord? He mused to himself, listening half-heartedly to the ramblings of the busybody across from his desk. Every conversation with Sam ended in the same manner. Okay, Sam, we'll try not to let it happen again, and we'll look into that other concern, he said, ushering the recently and very temporarily contented man to the door. Have a good day, he said politely. I'm sure, he thought. Returning to his desk, he looked out his office study window at the beautifully sculptured, scrupulously manicured landscape. Morgan Wickham, he thought to himself, Pastor Morgan Wickham. He had gotten pretty used to the sound of that in the last 22 years. Could it be that long ago? 22 years? Fresh out of seminary and on fire for the Lord, he came to His Holiness Christian Fellowship. He remembered many long but beautiful nights of prayer and communion, seeking the Lord on behalf of His people. It was much smaller then, a budding little church in a growing community outside a major city. Who would have dreamed it would come to this, he marveled, as he looked admiringly at his sizable paneled four-room office suite with private bath. After randomly brushing his fingers along the spines of several of the books in his floor-to-ceiling library, he walked past the large reading table and proceeded to the private chamber he used to rest during particularly rough times. Then he went past his full bath with shower and his immaculate kitchen and headed back to his office. God sure has been good, he thought. Somehow, though, he missed the times when in desperate need he would close himself in with his Lord to intercede for his little fellowship of friends. When did all that change? When did the mechanics of the wisdom received in board meetings replace the steps of faith received in prayer? About the same time the miracles stopped, he said out loud. Then, shaking the thought and the melancholy, he pressed the intercom. "Mary, would you get Jim Wilson on the phone for me?" "Yes, Pastor," came the immediate response. "He's waiting for your return call." After several moments the phone sprang to life. "This is Jim Wilson. Jim, Morgan Wickham here. What can I do for you?" "Morgan, thanks for calling so soon. I've been thinking, Morgan. Well, more than thinking. In fact, Charlie Bates, Bill Smithers, and Bruce Harrison and I felt we should do something for this Train fellow. He looked pretty ragged and harried the other night, and we thought he must be in real need. So we each threw in $1,000 to, help him out. If you would like to open up the offer to help to the rest of the congregation, we could do that." "That's very generous, Jim. I will do that. We could invite him here Sunday night and present it to him." "Good idea," Jim said. "Let's do it. We'll make the arrangements with Mary, and let's go for it. She can contact him." With that, the intercom went silent. "So easy," Pastor Wickham mused. $4,000, just like that, for someone who is almost a stranger. I wonder if they would have taken it to him in the inner city. He was almost embarrassed to think that of such good, caring people. Of course they would, wouldn't they? End of chapter 12.